Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're doing a really interesting document breakdown. Have you ever wondered what actually happens inside the digital walls of a high-performing company before the rest of the world has even had their first cup of coffee? Well, today we are cracking open an actual, real-world, standard operating procedure. We're looking at a corporate playbook from an Indonesian tech firm called INDOGO, specifically focusing on their morning alignment gathering strategy. Now, I've translated the core concepts into English for us today, but we are definitely going to keep that same high-octane, intense energy of the original document. So let's dive right into this and see exactly how a top-tier team engineers their morning for absolute success. Right out of the gate, this playbook establishes a very unique vibe. This isn't your standard, sleepy 9 a.m. status update where everyone's just sipping coffee. Not at all. This outlines what they call the MAG, the Morning Alignment Gathering. It's this high-speed, hyper-structured routine designed to pump the team up, synchronize their goals, and completely reset their psychology for the day. Honestly, it's essentially a daily locker room speech, but custom-built for the corporate world. Here is the exact game plan for how we're going to deconstruct this playbook today. First, starting the morning with alignment. Second, the everyone is CEO mindset. Third, the PANTAS team value framework. Fourth, clarity and self-competence. And finally, action plan and declarations. All right, let's get right to it with section 1, starting the morning, alignment. This is really all about setting the stage before the actual work even begins. Now, a totally non-negotiable rule in their playbook is that cameras must be on. Think about it. In a world of remote work and hybrid schedules, it is so incredibly easy to just hide behind a muted microphone and a blank screen, right? But the Indigo playbook strictly prohibits that. They demand physical presence. Why? Because you absolutely cannot synchronize a team's vision and mission if you can't look each other in the eye. It requires active participation from literal second one. And once those cameras are on, boom, they are hit with this philosophy. Today is not just a new day, a new page, but we want to be worthy people because success starts from our own decisions. Notice how success isn't framed as just something that randomly happens to you or something dictated by market trends. No, it's a personal decision you make the very moment you log in. It's a battle cry that instantly shifts the locus of control directly onto the employee's own shoulders. Which leads us perfectly into section 2, mindset. Everyone is CEO. Let's explore how this really builds into their core daily psychology. The central mantra of this entire company is #everyone is CEO. Think about what that actually means in practice. In a traditional corporate structure, hierarchical thinking just creates bottlenecks, right? Employees wait for permission, they sit around waiting to be told what to do. But by declaring that everyone is a CEO, the playbook demands absolute ownership. Every single team member is expected to treat their specific role, their desk, their daily tasks as if it is their own personal business. You are literally the chief executive of your own output. So, how do they actually teach this massive mindset shift? Well, they use a methodology they call abracadabra, which is led by their internal coach. I know, it sounds kind of playful, but the core message is that shifting from an employee to a CEO mindset feels like a magical transformation. You are basically conjuring confidence and proactive energy right out of thin air. But of course, a corporate playbook has to be grounded in reality, not actual magic. So the crucial point is how they actually sustain that magic. And they do it through this exact definition taken straight from their SOP, iteration. It's the relentless repetition of actions until the desired growth is achieved. You don't just wake up as a CEO once, you iterate. You practice the mindset, you practice the discipline over and over and over again until excellence just naturally becomes your baseline habit. But look, pure ambition without structure is basically just chaos. So let's look at section 3, the PANTAS team value framework, which is designed to govern exactly how this team operates on a daily basis. They use an acronym, PANTS. In Indonesian, the word pantas translates to being worthy or appropriate, which ties right back to that opening quote we saw earlier. But each letter stands for a trait they expect everyone to embody: professional, adaptive to change, navigative, meaning providing clear direction, totality in your commitment, accelerative to speed up progress, solution-oriented, and finally, synergistic. They even visualize the team as superheroes standing together to reinforce that, hey, these aren't just corporate buzzwords, these are our actual operational standards. And this brilliant line from the playbook really anchors the entire PANTAS framework. True victory is born from how we compete. It reminds the team that just hitting a sales target or launching a product isn't the only goal. Think about it. If you hit your targets but you aren't synergistic, or you completely lack totality, well, you haven't truly won. The way you play the game is just as critical as the final score. And they take this whole alignment thing very literally, right down to their physical appearance. The playbook highlights their company mascot, INE, and strictly enforces what they call the BERES dress code, a word that basically translates to being neat and sorted. They map out highly specific colors and attire for different days: white and silver, traditional regional clothing, batiks. The reason? Visual alignment. They want the team to know that every single time they interact with a consumer, they are visually projecting that exact same organized, cohesive standard. Now, the playbook doesn't just focus on the collective group. Let's jump into section 4, clarity and self-confidence, because this phase demands some pretty intense individual introspection. Imagine logging into your very first morning meeting and being hit with these questions. Who are we? What career do we want to build? This is the clarity section of the document. The company forces employees to confront their own career trajectories daily. By asking these big picture questions, they prevent people from just running on autopilot. If you know exactly what career you are trying to build, your mundane daily tasks suddenly have profound meaning. Building on that clarity is the concept of competence. But notice the specific wording here. It's really interesting. They don't just ask, what are your skills? They ask, what is the measure of our self-confidence? And what do we do every day to achieve full self-confidence? According to this SOP, true competence isn't just a bulleted list of abilities on your resume. It's the daily iterative actions you take to ensure you are 100% confident in delivering results that push the entire company forward. To help the team push through the friction of developing that competence, they drop in some powerful inner growth philosophy. Know that there is something inside us greater than any obstacle. The playbook specifically challenges the team to hit a 10 maximum performance level. And when roadblocks inevitably happen, because they always do, this quote serves as a reminder that their internal resilience is always stronger than external market forces. Okay, so we've covered the mindset and the values. Let's move to section 5, action plan and declarations, which is where all of this high-level philosophy transforms into granular, ground-level execution. Get this. In this playbook, the day does not start at 9 a.m. It starts at 6 a.m. with individual planning. By 7 a.m., they are executing team actions, reviewing product knowledge and requirements, and by 8 a.m., they enter a phase called speed, which involves high-velocity data analysis and inputting into their systems. By the time most people are still stuck in their morning commute, this team has already planned, aligned, and fully analyzed their daily metrics. It's wild. And how do they maintain that kind of speed without burning out? By adhering to this absolutely crucial rule of focus highlighted in the text. If everything is important, then nothing is important. During those morning sprints, distractions are literally lethal. This principle forces the team to violently prioritize. You have to isolate the tasks that actually move the needle and ruthlessly ignore the noise. To seal this entire gathering, the playbook mandates vocal declarations, and the team doesn't just read these quietly, they say them out loud, filling in their own names. I am participating, competing well, heading to victory. I am healthy, grateful, happy. There is a deep, proven psychological power in vocalizing your intent. It transforms a passive thought into an active commitment, literally wiring the brain for positivity and aggression right as the workday begins. And then, the gathering culminates in this final, booming declaration. We do agree. Real change starts with a new life, not just a new leaf. It's not about minor tweaks. It's about a total operational overhaul. And the playbook explicitly notes that the entire team must respond with a fast and loud voice. Agree! It caps off the high-speed gathering with this massive surge of unified energy. And that, my friends, is how you engineer a daily psychological reset for corporate success. Through cameras being on, adopting a CEO mindset, living the PANTAS values, seeking intense clarity, and executing with speed and vocal commitment, INDOGO's playbook leaves absolutely nothing to chance. They don't just hope for a good morning, they manufacture it systematically. So I want to leave you with this final thought. We just deconstructed how a high-performing tech team starts their day. But you don't need to be in a corporate boardroom to use this. What would happen to your personal goals, your side projects, or your own business if you structured your morning with this exact level of clarity, relentless action, and vocal declaration? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.